You still need the link?
No, you guys got a pen?
There you go. Okay, he's on. Yes, ma'am. They're joining, hang on. There's a delay.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a lag, so. Okay. You are, ma'am.
All right, well, good afternoon. It is 3:06, so the Downtown Development Authority meeting for Thursday, February 27th is called to order. Ms. Clay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Angeline Butler,
Yes, present.
Eric Stallings. Jacqueline Faith,
Present.
Nancy Howard.
Present.
Trey Holland,
Present.
Gobble Shaw. Jay Evans. Present.
All right, thank you. The agenda, is there a motion to adopt tonight's agenda? Is there anything we need to add? All right, so I'm gonna ask for a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
I make a motion.
Is that Jacqueline?
Second.
Okay, that
Yes,
was
that's
Jacqueline, a second by Trey. Any discussion? Ms. Clay, can you do a roll call, please? Vote.
Mayor Angela,
Yes.
Jacqueline Faith,
Yes.
Nancy Howard,
Yes.
Trey Holland.
Yes.
Jay Evans. Yes.
Thank you. The minutes from January 23rd. Is there any changes to be recommended? All right, not hearing anything. Is there a motion to adopt? That was Ms. J. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Trey. Is there any discussion? All right, Ms. Clay, roll call, please.
Mayor Angeline Butler,
Yes.
Jacqueline Faith,
Yes.
Nancy Howard,
Yes.
Trey Holland.
Yes.
Jay Evans. Yes.
All right, old business, East Street renovations.
Good afternoon. East Street renovations are coming along. I don't have a lot to update on right now. We are at the tail end of our renovations. As you will remember, in our last meeting, we'd identified a couple of outstanding small things that we needed to address. Our Public Works Department is working through some of the small things like painting the inside of the closet, tightening some cabinet screws, et cetera, et cetera. We do have a meeting on Tuesday where we are meeting with contractors to look at the tree in the backyard that very much needs to be trimmed, the potential addition of a deck on the back, as well as, believe the fence, thank you, and the installation of a fence. So hopefully by mid next week, we'll have a better position and at least with some quotes of those three big things that are outstanding. And I think once we work through those, we should be done with the renovations for East Street.
819.
819, as you'll remember, that's the Little Caesars Plaza. We actually, Mr. Leday brought to our attention, there was some brickwork that was, it looks like someone had run their car into one of the brick pillars in front of Little Caesars. We were able to get it repaired. It is done. So the next time you go and get your little cheesy puff things that Mr. City Manager Clark loves so much, please take a look. The repair work has been completed on time and on budget. So we're very, very thankful that we got it taken care of. And that's it that I have for 819 in terms of the repair work.
Any questions or comments?
Mayor Butler, just one final thought. Just one thought. Is there a budget that we need to stay within for the furniture that we're going to do so that that's on record?
We have not established one. I think we're great financial stewards. We'll be okay. It's a whole house. So what do you think?
Set something not to exceed.
Not to exceed $200,000. then when we come in way under, they're like, man, they really did do a good job.
That's why I'm not going to. Dr. Bell Butler, I hope the kid out there. We would have custom parties.
What-
I honestly think we could do under 15.
1.5?
Mhm.
It's a
Way-
2-bedroom, 1-bath house.
That's hot.
Okay.
We-
Give us some grace. We need to-
Is there a motion?
All right, is there a motion to approve an amount not to exceed $20,000 to furnish the East Street property?
Motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Is there any discussion? All right, let's play. Yes.
Jacqueline Faye,
Yes.
Nancy Howard,
Yes.
Trey Holland,
Yes.
Jay Evans. Yes.
All right, thank you all. We'll definitely be way under. Financial report. Mr. Wiggins, you have the floor.
Good evening, DDA committee. We can start out with the first cover, my cover sheet that shows the operating cash and the operating revenue and operating expense. Starting out with the operating cash, we have 3 bank accounts totaling 7 million. The beginning budget was 7,039,334. You had deposits of 29,158. Then you had the withdrawal and debit of 4,153,531, leaving you the ending balance of 2,914,962. Moving to the operating revenue. Your operating revenue was budgeted beginning of the year was 1,429,768. Year to date, you have year to date actuals, you have 3,617,931, giving you an overage of 2,188,163. Your operating expense is budgeted at 1,429,768. Year to date, you've only spent 289,657. You have an encumbrance balance, which is 87,534. Your budget balance is 1,054,377. The next 3 sheets in the packet are just graphs, just showing you graphs of your operating cash as well as your operating revenue and operating expense. I've also included in the packet the checking, the bank accounts. The first one ending in 0510. This is this is your main one with transactions. Starting with the balance was 4,786,727. Your new balance is 656,896. That was due to a pilot payment adjustment we had to do per the audit. With this particular bank statement, I've also included all of the checks that were dispersed from this particular bank account. There's also a handout that I just put with your packet that's separate from the one that's with the agenda. This right here, this is a departmental payment report. This just backs up what, with your bank account or what was paid out for that particular month. Your second bank account. This one here is 1 million, beginning balance was 1,163,916. You have a ending balance of 1,166,736. Your second bank account, which is 1,088,690. Ending balance is 1,091,328. The last bank account that's not on the cover sheet that include, this is your Georgia Fund 1. Your beginning balance was 2,060,376. You had earnings that was reinvested. It came in at 7,651, which added to your balance, which was $2,068,027. So it's still doing pretty good as far as reinvestment with Georgia Fund 1. And the last report that I have with the packet, this is just a overall, this is where I get your revenue and your expenses from. This comes from our Encode system. This is the this revenue and expense report. And that pretty much is your the financial report. Not a lot of activity for the particular month, the month of January.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
Comments?
I do have a question, and this is either for the city manager or for Mr. Wiggins. DDA Main Street checking account, what is that for?
I think it's just the name of, it's just the name of the account.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
figured as much.
It's-
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I'm clear in my understanding of it.
We do need to get a historical look at why there are 3 different accounts. I know why there is that Series 2023B. I believe that was when the DDA took a bond for the purpose of acquiring all of these sites. I
Correct.
just need to look at a historical abstract to see what that money is for in that account. We're getting low. Low.
There's been a directive for the Economic Development Department that will help with that. We just need to make sure they stay on track. Thank you, sir.
And I'll get some history on that Main Street,
They
Ma-
really thought.
the Main Street account. I'll get some history on that.
Okay.
We might be able to collapse it. I don't know. It might be, it might be kind of hard.
Invest in some of these funds, similar to what we've done with the URA and the general fund. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. This is that.
The Georgia Fund 1. Yeah. We probably could.
$780,000.
Yeah.
How much did we initially put? Was it to 2 million?
Yes. Yeah. Now we could, that's what that Main Street account, we could maybe dissolve that and move all that over there, let that sit because let me get the history on that first before we go down there because I am in talks with Truist on our interest rates, but I have to see if that's going to affect the DDA as well as the URA as far as changing that interest rate. But I know for the citywide, we're gonna get that change, a higher interest rate, so we can.
Need a Main Street account since we're trying to get that Main Street accreditation.
No, the way it works, or the way it used to work, District Manager Rochelle would submit a monthly report detailing revenues coming in, going out, as well as the radius of volunteers that we did for events, and they aggregated at the beginning of the year when they sent her the report showing what the economic impact is, that they said.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Main Street update.
All right. Afternoon again. So we are super excited about all of our activity going on Main Street. We have almost finalized, as much as we can finalize at this time, our 2025 Main Street calendar. We are kicking off, and I think I sent something out to everybody earlier today, our St. Patrick's Day Fountain Party on Friday, March the 14th. It's going to be green everything and some really fun and cool stuff, so come out. We also are partnering with the executive officers or the council office on their Food Truck Fridays. And when I was last before you, we talked about the longest table, which is an event that's somewhat similar to a dinner en blanc. And we had an idea of to extend the footprint of our Main Street activity and events to include Bill Lee coming down Main Street. So we're looking at working in partnership with our existing food truck on that April 4th event that could be part of the longest table. So trying to incorporate a couple of different elements into the food truck. But right now, tentatively, that's going to be on April the 4th. Georgia Cities Week is April the 20th through the 26th. And then as part of that, we are bringing back our incredibly popular Food and Wine Festival on which will now be Friday, April the 25th. We learned late this afternoon or later this afternoon that there is an event on that Saturday, so we're going to move it back or keep it on the Friday, which is where it was before, so we do not conflict with the Saturday event. Our Up Early on Main is our Saturday morning yoga series that we are bringing back. We will again do a food truck partnership in probably the October timeframe. Super excited about the diaspora and our mayor, and y'all know that she dreams big and comes up with all kinds of stuff and keeps me on my toes. But we are looking at bringing a Afro-centered event. It will at least be one day. It might be two, but it will be an incorporation of food, music, culture, fashion, et cetera, all about the diaspora. And so right now we're looking at the September 12th through the 13th for that event. Again, we will close out or kick off our fall with Blues on Main. Again, our other signature event, again, wildly popular, which will again be on October the 10th this year. Our Powtoberfest, which was our Dogs on Parade Halloween festival thing last year, and we're going to bring that back, and then we'll close out our year with Small Business Saturday in support of our small business community. We are partnering with other Georgia Main Street managers from Tifton all the way up to Atlanta. Right now, the working theme is from peaches to beaches, and how we highlight all of our, it was not my idea, but we're going with peaches to beaches, of how we highlight all of our communities around and encouraging people to shop small and shop local for small business. And then we will close it out with Holiday on Main for December. Couple of things that are still in progress. We are working on a branded logo for Main Street Forest Park. I was hoping that I was going to have it by this meeting, but we had a couple other things that we needed to move to the front of the line. So prayerfully by next month, I will have for you the new Main Street Forest Park brand. Which will also include some swag that goes along with that. We are also working through a refresh and revitalization with our new brand of the light pole banners in the Main Street District, as well as how we start to brand the footprint of the Arts and Entertainment District as a whole. With our Planning and Community Development Director, we are working again on the public art program. There has been a committee or a committee, something that I was told that I am now on. So I will be your representative on our newly to be formed public art program. And again, looking at this more than just slapping murals on buildings, really being very intentional about what public art means for us. So it could be murals, but it also could be sculptures and some installations, et cetera. And then again, rolling out the Main Street Ambassador Program in earnest. With our Georgia Main Street stuff, we have done a lot. We have done our annual self-assessment. working through our annual work plan that has lots of layers to it. Which includes, a training log for me, our board agendas for you, additional training for you. We are working, Director Williams is working on identifying a date. I think he has a meeting next week, maybe, to identify training dates so that the DDA board can go through the advanced DDA training as step one, and then step two, to have the DDA board in full go through the Main Street 101 training, which is a requirement for the Georgia Main Street program. And then finally, working through a transformation strategy and a guidebook as a whole for our Forest Park Main Street, which layers all of these things that rumble around in my head. I will have for you, we have started laying out budgets for each of our events. So by our next meeting, we'll have at least a working budget now that we've kind of laid out probably 80–90% of what we're going to do this year in terms of our events, what that allocation starts to look like, as well as sponsorship opportunities. With the Wine Festival, actually, I have a call next week with one of our sister Main Street managers that does a fabulous wine festival, and how we start to monetize our events, how we offer some different packages aside from just a traditional corporate sponsorship. And I think that is it for Main Street. I could stand up here all day and talk about Main Street, but I'm gonna stop and we'll open that up for any questions. Oh, yes, ma'am. Hey, Nancy.
Hey, Ms. Rochelle, yes, I have a question. Could you possibly give me the time frame for that April 25th event? And the
Yes,
second question is could you provide me, since I'm a planner, I would like to see like a calendar of the upcoming events. That way I
yes,
can go ahead
ma'am.
and plug them into
Yep.
my calendar.
Absolutely, I can do both. So we sent out this morning the calendar invite for the St. Patrick's Day Festival. The wine crawl event will be Friday, April 25th from 5 to 9. We will send out individual calendar invites for each of our events, but I will also send to each of you by tomorrow morning the full calendar for the year, which also has dates and times for all of our proposed events.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, I'm staying up here because I think the next thing is me too. Okay, so on behalf of Director Marcellus Williams, who could not be with us this evening, I'm presenting to you the Economic Development Department activity. I'm not going to read everything to you, but this kind of calls some stuff out. So toured with the mayor and Councilwoman James and the city manager, the Sweet Auburn Avenue redevelopment site, has met with real estate developers and brokers, including Charlie Gonzalez, Edric Harris, and Aaron Socher of A Partners. The staff is continuing to work through the completion of Project Splash, Project Moonshot, as well as Operation Unload. The staff has met with and given tours for potential prospects for 850 Main Street, which is the site that is owned by the Development Authority that is currently being redeveloped. If you haven't driven down Main Street, I encourage you to do so and wave at them and stop in and take a look. Just give them a shout before you walk in, because it might need you to put a hard hat on. But the renovation is amazing and just incredibly transformative what has been accomplished so far. He has fielded 11 business inquiries from individuals. We also attended a meeting with the Clayton State Small Business Development Center, and how we continued to leverage a partnership with them for the full year. One of the things that they are doing starting, I believe, is it next week, March 7th, I think. I think there are 3 or 4 dates that they are hosting free to our community consulting hours, where they're going to come in, they're going to be stationed at 696. I believe it's over 3 or 4 Mondays for the full day. You can sign up as a small business owner in the community and have your questions answered, provide guidance. I am a big proponent of SBDC because the resources are free. They truly are subject matter experts in what they do. So we're excited about having them here. We have also hosted 3 film scouts, including NBC Studios and Tyler Perry Studios. Now that kind of slowly, it has taken a while for film to pick back up, but excited to see that coming back. Actually had a follow-up meeting on Monday with the film group that I met with a couple of weeks ago, and they are inching ever closer. I'm expecting any day now their paperwork to be on our desk. So very excited about, and they will actually be the first, I think the first film that we have done in 2025. Elevate Workforce Development Program is coming to the city. We're excited to work through that and have a true workforce and a much more robust workforce development program. And then finally, we are working on new collateral for the Office of Economic Development that includes rebranded brochure, one-pager, a new logo, as well as this rolls into the redesign for the city website. So kind of working through all of that stuff all at the same time. So doing lots of wordsmithing in our office right now. That is it for the Economic Development Department Activity Report. Are there any questions?
We do have executive session. Is there a motion to recess the regular meeting and enter into executive session for personnel, litigation, real estate, or legal matters? Thank you. That was Ms. J. Is there a second?
A second.
Second.
Ms. Jacqueline, all in favor?
Aye.
Would you mind if we stayed in here?
Yeah.